Hey guys, Games for Life here, and in today's video we are gonna turn copper into scrap. This is gonna be an automated scrap farm. It's really simple. Here's the schematic, this is how it should look in the end. And I'm also gonna drop the full list of items needed for this in the description, so make sure to check that as well. I will also explain exactly how it works, one step at a time. But now let's start building it, and the first thing you're gonna need is Auto-Extractors, so make sure you've got these unlocked first. You're gonna want to find some malachite, like I found right here. Place 2 Auto-Extractors on this. You can also use just one Auto-Extractor, but I want this to work a little bit faster, that's why I have 2 on here. And if you need scrap really quick, you can use 3, 4, 5 of these, but I think that 2 on a single node is enough. I'm just gonna place some seeds on top so nothing goes there, because we will want the malachite to get in the front slot of this, and you'll see why in just a second. We are gonna be using auto arms and all of that stuff, but in order to get the malachite up to our base on the surface, we are gonna use trains. That's so much faster and so much more resource efficient, and we'll use a little trick with a cart that will automatically go up and down. I'm gonna show you how to set that up as well, but you're gonna need train stations for this. Make sure you've got those unlocked as well. Let's unpack this right here. There we go. It's connected to another rail engine I've placed on top, right next to our base. And then right here we'll have auto arms grabbing the resources from these slots and putting them here. We're gonna need some form of storage here as well. You can use whatever storage you want. So I'll head back up top to get the auto arms and the resources we need to keep on building this. But as you can see, so far it's pretty easy to understand. This is not one of those insanely complicated automated farms in Astroneer. This is pretty simple and straightforward, so that you can build this even in the early to medium game stages. I am doing this on Calidor, by the way, because malachite is naturally found in the caves of Calidor, so that's why we are here. Okay, so here we've got some medium platform A and the auto arms that we need to grab the malachite. And this is gonna essentially store all of our malachite on the rail station here. The train station is gonna be connected to the base, so we'll have power coming through here. Then we will turn these on once we've got power. You'll also need to place items in the selector slots of these just to make sure they don't grab anything else that they shouldn't, and make sure they can reach this slot right here, and that they also reach the train station. Good. Now in order to transport the malachite, we're gonna need a rail car, and we're gonna have storage on it. This storage also has a storage sensor. This is set to full or empty, so this will activate anytime the storage is full or empty. Just connect this to the rail car. There we go. I'll put this right here. Now it's time to set the station to stop all cars and then load the stopped cars. This basically means that all of the malachite on here will automatically go into this storage on the car. And once the storage is full, it will activate the storage sensor, which will activate the cart, and it will make it go to the top. On the top, we'll do the exact opposite. We'll set the station to unload the car, and then it will send it back once it's empty. So that seems pretty easy. We are automatically getting malachite, we are putting it on the train, and then the train automatically brings it right into our base. Once you've got this part set up, there's really nothing you need to worry about. You're just gonna get malachite as long as you've got power. But then there's a long way from malachite to scrap, so let's take a look at that next. Alright, so let's connect the train station to the base. This way we've got power all the way down there, and then make sure to make this stop all cars and then unload stopped cars. Next we're gonna have 2 auto arms here to unload all of the malachite, and we are gonna place malachite in the selector slots of these before turning them on as well. Then it's the scrap farm part, and here's where all the scrap is gonna be made. Let me show you the materials you're gonna need. They are over on this other side. So this is basically what you'll need. We've got a shredder in there, we've got smelters and small printers, because we'll be using the small printers to craft power switches with the copper. So that's why we need the smelters to get copper from the malachite. That makes sense, right? So let me just show you how that works. First of all, let's start with a large platform B. We'll also connect this to power. I'll use 4 portable smelting furnaces, but you can use just 1 or 2, or you can use the normal smelter if you don't have these portable ones. but I find these to be much faster because you can place multiple of them like that. Alright, so the malachite is gonna get deposited on here, make sure the auto arms can reach, and these are gonna turn it into copper, so we'll have copper on this side. Now let's get some more auto arms out here. So 2 more auto arms will grab the copper from here and they will deposit it on another platform just like the first one. Here we can place the small printers as well as some storage. Again, you can use whatever storage type you want here. And we'll set these to power switches, put them on repeat. You can also do this by setting them to power extenders or work lights. It's basically the exact same thing, but I'm gonna have them set to power switches for this. Then I'll place another platform. You don't necessarily need this. You can have the small printers drop all the items crafted straight onto the ground, but I don't like that. I feel like they might glitch or something, so I'll just have this platform right here just for safety. And let's make sure these are connected. So the items will get crafted on here, and then I'll place 2 more auto arms right here, and these are gonna lead straight into the shredder. So there we have it. This is where all the scrap is gonna get created, and then we'll have medium resource canisters to hold all the scrap on here. Again, you can use whatever other storage you want instead of this, but I suggest having some type of canister, because we are gonna be producing a ton of scrap with this. Great, that's pretty much it. Now we just have to put items in the selector slots of these auto arms to make sure everything runs smoothly, and then we'll head down and turn on the auto-extractors. So there we go, we've got stuff in the selector slots of all the auto arms. Don't forget about this, it's a really important step, otherwise the whole thing can get screwed up and it will stop working. So let's head down and turn the auto-extractors on. We can watch them in action. So there we go, we've got both of them turned on. You can also overclock these so that they work faster. I've got a video on that actually, but right now I'll just leave them at the normal speed. Trust me, this is good enough and we are gonna get a ton of scrap anyways. The first time it takes a little bit until the cart gets filled, but then in the whole time the scrap gets made on top, these storages will be filled down here, so when the cart comes it will already be almost full, so it won't stay down here for that long. But the first time you start the farm up, you're gonna have to wait for a while. After this has enough malachite to function, we can go back to the top, and I'm actually gonna duplicate this world. You know what, let's do that right now. I will duplicate this world. I'm gonna make a new one, I'm gonna call it Creative Copper, alright, conform. And we are gonna use this new world in creative mode so that we can use the drone to see the whole farm from above. That's really important because we are gonna be able to see it from a top view, and I will be able to explain how everything works much easier. Then I'm gonna turn back to the original not creative save and we'll get a ton of scrap there. Turn on creative mode here. Let's do that. Okay, I'll just fly to the top and I'll position the drone something like that. Let me actually move myself from there. But yeah, there we go. So once we've got enough malachite, I'll do a time lapse of the farm in action so you can see exactly how this works. Great, so you can see the cart coming in with all of the malachite. Now the auto arms are grabbing it and putting it onto the smelter platform. It is getting turned into copper, there we go. And then the other auto arms will take that copper and put it to the small printer platform. These then turn the copper into power switches, which then get shredded for scrap. Using this method we are actually getting 1 scrap per copper, so each copper grants us 1 scrap. And since the cart in this configuration can hold 32 malachite, we are getting 32 scrap every single time the cart comes back up from the caves. So that's amazing, and this actually works pretty fast. You saw how easy it is to build, but once you've built one of them, you already know how it works, so you can build multiple of them. And the other thing that I need to mention is that a malachite node will eventually get depleted completely, and you will have to move to a different one. And the farm will just keep on moving from there. So this is really easy maintenance to do on the farm. It's gonna happen really rarely. Just make sure you've got enough power for it, so you might want to upgrade the power in your base, because this can consume quite a bit of power, especially when the smelters and the shredder are working, and the auto-extractors also take a little bit of power. If you want to see the schematic for this farm to make it easier for you to build it, then go back to the beginning of this video. You can see it on screen right there in the first couple of seconds, And if you want the list of items, so you know what you need to craft in order to build this, you can check that out in the description below. And don't forget, I've got a ton of automation videos on the channel where we build farms just like this one, so go check out the automation playlist. And there's another video right here, maybe you'll like that one better. Make sure to click on one of those at least. And that's gonna be all for today. I've been Games for Life and I'll see you next time. Cheers, Astroneers!